What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today we have got a lot of purple Digimon cards we need to be taking a little bit of a look at. So we're going to go at a little bit of a pace. We're going to look at a bunch of purple cards. We've got the Bagra army, but first we've got some others. Translations from the lovely folks at Ensign Gaming and the lovely folks at DigimonCard.dev. So starting off then, we've got Tokamon. One inheritable skill. When this card is trashed, by an effect, draw one. Only works on your opponent's turn. And this seems weird. I mean, don't get me wrong, right? I know that these Digitama are very specific at the best of times. But this seems hyper-specific even in the realms of Digitama. Like, you're, relying that your opponent is going to be trying to discard evolution sources? Against decks that do try and go after evolution sources, this is brilliant and lets you draw cards. But I must confess, I am a little bit skeptical as to how often this is actually going to work to draw you that many cards. Wouldn't mind being wrong, though. Moving on then, we've got Gasimon, and Gasimon comes in with one inheritable skill. I should say 3 cost to play normally, 0 cost to Digivolve, 2000 power. All very standard for a level 3 with a skill. And what we've got here is one inheritable skill on all turns. While there are 10 or more cards in your trash, this Digimon gains retaliation. And by now, we've been saying this for a while, right? Purple like to self-mill. It's what they do. It's what Purple are good at. They like to trash their own cards so that they can then play from the trash. And an awful lot of Purple cards can do that. An awful lot of Purple decks rely on that. And when you're in a world where you're trying to discard a bunch of cards and play from the trash, this is clearly brilliant. This is clearly awesome. Because now you're a level 3 with retaliation as an inheritable skill. And that is the first time we've seen that. Devimon from EX1 has retaliation as a static skill, but not as an inheritable skill. So you know what? Yeah. We've got other Digimon that can give you retaliation as an inheritable skill, but not as a level 3. I'm a little bit curious about this one. This is a kind of card that seems like it might actually end up being really rather good. Keep an eye on this one. Again, you got to have 10 cards in the trash, but come on, you're Purple. You'll probably be fine. Moving on up, we can have a look at Sound Birdmon here. 3 cost to play normally, 0 cost to Digivolve, 1000 power. That is redonkulously low. There'd better be something good going on. Well, when you are attacking, you can place a purple Digimon from your hand under one of your tamers and draw a card. Oh, that's brilliant. We know that part of the deal with this particular set is we're putting cards under our tamers and then getting them back. Well, here you can put any card under your tamer, save it for later, get it back, do all that kind of good stuff. But then you're also drawing a card, so basically every time you attack you can draw a card. Admittedly, you've got 1000 power. If you attack, you're probably going down. But then again, on deletion, you've got save, so that's not too bad. Also, it's got an inheritable skill on your opponent's turn. When this card is trashed, by an effect, gain a memory. Again, there are some decks that trash your evolution sources, especially blue. But are they really going to work often enough? Like I say, this is only on your opponent's turn. You can't engineer this on your turn. So you're kind of relying on your opponent getting rid of your evolution Digimon. And I don't know, maybe it's me. I don't think it's going to work that often. We've then got Bilsimon coming in here. 7 cost to play normally, 3 cost to Digivolve, 7000 power. Exactly what we would expect from a level 5. And when you trash this card in your hand, using one of your own effects during your turn, you may Digivolve one of your Digimon into a purple card with Undead or Dark Animal in its traits from your trash for its Digivolution cost. Yes. Now you're Digivolving from your trash. That sounds good, ladies and gentlemen. Again, Purple like to throw cards into the trash, so now you're telling me that I can Digivolve from the trash as I'm playing from the trash anyway? This is nice. Then, when Digivolving, if this Digimon is Digivolving from the trash, this Digimon gains, on deletion, delete one of your opponent's Digimon until your opponent's turn ends. That's ridiculous! Delete any of your opponent's Digimon? Any of them? Yes. It means that your opponent cannot go after you, like, at all, but also just attack into the stack. Now, admittedly, you're a level 5, so if you get deleted, you lose a level 5, you can't digivolve it into a level 6, etc. But I love the idea that you digivolve from your trash, and then you can just delete one of your opponent's Digimon while you attack the stack. This one, again, seems very, very interesting to me. And then the last non-Bagra army we've got is a level 6. It's Bilsimon. It's back, but as an uncommon. 11 cost to play normally, 3 cost to digivolve, 11,000 power. That is very standard. It is exactly what we would expect from your average level 6. And what we've got here is you can digivolve for 3 cost from any level 5 with Crossheart in its traits. And yeah, I know you can generally evolve from a level 5, but you can generally evolve from a level 5 purple. This lets you evolve from any level 5, just so long as they've got Crossheart in their traits. I cannot be the only one that thinks this is a good thing. Then, we've got a skill where on play, or when you digivolve, i.e. however you get it onto the field, you may trash 3 cards on the top of your deck, and then for every 10 cards in your trash, delete one of your opponent's level 4 or lower Digimon. Now, obviously, there's only so far you can go with this particular skill. Obviously, you've got to at least have a Digimon in play, so the most you can have is 40. You can't have all 50 cards in the trash if you've got a card in play, for pretty obvious reasons. And you know what? Most of the time, you'll be getting 1 or 2. Digivolve up, get rid of 1 or 2 level 4 or lower Digimon. I'm going to be perfectly honest with you here. I'm not sure that's good enough. I'm not sure that's powerful enough. That might be a little underwhelming. Then you've got an inheritable skill, which is rare to see on a level 6. Go up into a level 7, and at the end of your attack, once per turn, gain a memory for every 10 cards in your trash. And I do like the idea that at the end of your attack, you end up gaining like 3 memories, you got 30 cards in the trash. But firstly, I'm not a huge fan of this before you get to the inheritable skill. Then you got to really fill up your trash to make this work. And you got to be this into a level 7. I know Bilsimon is good, and we got some good Bilsimon decks out there, and there's no arguments here. But I do get the feeling that this is a lot of work for what you get. Moving over to the Bagra army, then, we can have a look at Chimon. 4 cost to play normally, 0 cost to digivolve, 1,000 power. Yeah, it's expensive to play, and it's got very low power, but it's got a lovely play skill. Reveal 4 cards on the top of your deck, add a Digimon with Bagra Army in its traits, and a Uinamano, more on that in a moment, to your hand. Okay, so it's another one of these that adds consistency, lets you search stuff out. Actually, this is good, and I'm all in favour. Then on deletion, you've got save, so you can put it under one of your tamers, which is nice. And an inheritable skill, like we've seen on some of the others. When this card is trashed, using an effect, gain a memory. But it's got to be on your opponent's turn, and not every deck's going to do that. I still don't love this skill. Gasimon comes in here as a level 4, 5 cost to play normally, 2 cost to digivolve, 4,000 power. And when you play or digivolve, if you don't have a Uinamano in play, you can play one from your hand without paying. Again, we're going through the Bagra army here, so we're going to see a lot of overlapping, a lot of skills that work very well together. So essentially, Chimon lets you search it out, Gasimon lets you play it for free. This is nice. And it is a Digivolution skill. You pay 2 memory to Digivolve and you're good. Then on deletion, save, and on your opponent's turn, when this card is trashed by an effect, gain a memory. I've talked about that skill a lot. We don't need to keep talking about it. We've then got another level 4 in the Bagra army. It's Troopmon. Same inheritable skill we keep seeing over and over. 5 cost to play normally, 2 cost to digivolve, 4,000 power, nothing out the ordinary. On your opponent's turn, once per turn, when your opponent plays a Digimon or Tamer, by trashing one of this Digimon's Digivolution cards, you may gain a memory. Now this is huge, because I've said that these skills that let you gain a memory on your opponent's turn when a card is trashed by an effect are unlikely to work because you're not trashing your evolution sources on your opponent's turn. Now you are. The first time your opponent plays a Digimon or Tamer, you can trash one of your Digivolution cards and gain a memory, but of course, if that Digivolution card is Chimon, you gain a memory. If it's Sound Birdmon, you gain a memory. If it's Tokamon, you draw a card. And I love this. Now we're rolling, ladies and gentlemen. This skill is what makes all of those inheritable skills I've not been impressed with so far in the video into something I'm impressed with, and that makes me very happy. And I can't remember if I've said it or not, but it's got save on deletion. We've also got another level 4 in the Bagra army. Apparently 2 wasn't enough. We've got Mad Leomon. 5 cost to play normally, 2 cost to Digivolve, 4,000 power, all fairly standard. On your opponent's turn, once per turn, when the number of cards in your opponent's hand is increased by effects, by trashing any one of this Digimon's Digivolution cards, your opponent trashes cards from their hand equal to the number of cards that were increased. It's very wordy, but basically, if your opponent, say, increases their hand by 2, then you can trash one of your Digivolution sources, bearing in mind now all those skills we've just talked about work brilliantly, and your opponent has to trash 2 cards. Now, it's not perfect, because some decks like to trash cards and play from the trash, and also, your opponent, it seems like they can choose which cards they trash. So they're drawing 2, and then you make them trash 2. It's better than just letting them draw 2, but you do still have to let them choose which ones they want to keep, which isn't ideal, but it's not terrible. It's then got save on deletion, and Digicross -2, any card with Bagra's army in its traits. Yes! Any of those cards with Bagra army, put it down under, and it's a free cost to play, level 4. That is good. And then that same inheritable skill, when this card is trashed on your opponent's turn, by an effect from the Digivolution sources, gain a memory. So we're really relying on skills like Mad Leomon, like Troopmon here, to actually discard our evolution sources on our opponent's turn to really make the most of it. Fine by me. There's one level 5, here it is, Bilsimon, and what we've got is 7 cost to play normally, 3 cost to Digivolve, 7,000 power, all fairly standard. When attacking, you may trash up to 3 cards from the top of your deck, but again, purple likes to play from the trash. We've seen skills that rely on having so many cards in your trash, etc. It's a very purple kind of skill. And on deletion, if you have 10 or more cards in your trash, you can play a Bilsimon from your trash without paying its memory cost. Now I'm in. I told you a minute ago I wasn't a huge fan of this Bilsimon, and I'm not. Now, however, I get that quite nice play skill, and all I'm really doing here is just playing it when I get deleted to replace this, and now I like it much, much more. Thing is, we've got other Bilsimon here. We've got the Bilsimon from EX2, although to be fair, that doesn't have a play skill, only an evolution skill. But it's also an attacking skill, lets you trash the top 2 cards of your deck, and then delete one of your opponent's level 3 or lower Digimon, but for every 10 cards in your trash, you add 1 to the maximum level you can delete. And then we got the Bilsimon from BT2, that's got a Digivolution skill only, so maybe not that one. Point is, we've got other options here for Bilsimon. It doesn't have to be the new one, we've got some others. Although in this way, because of the play skill, I actually think this is the situation where this Bilsimon actually comes in. This becomes a really nice... I don't like it as much as the other 2, unless you're playing it because Balmon got deleted, in which case I actually like it quite a bit more. And then we finish off with Tactimon in terms of Digimon. Don't worry, we'll look at the tamer. 13 cost to play normally is high, 4 cost to play Digivolve is high, 12,000 power is high. 11-3-11 is what we expect, so 13-4-12 is very high. But when you play, you can play up to 2 level 4 or lower Digimon with Bagra army in their traits from your trash without paying, and they gain blocker until your opponent's turn ends. Yes, bearing in mind that could include the Chimon. It doesn't say play skills don't activate, so they do. And that lets you search out your Bagra army. That can include the Damamon, which lets you play Uinamano for free. So there are some really nice skills you can get here as well. Plus, you're just playing 2 cards for free and you're getting 2 blockers. I love it. And of course, let's not forget that they've all got save on deletion, so you can take advantage of that as well. Then on your opponent's turn, when your other Digimon's Digivolution cards would be trashed by an effect, you may trash this Digimon's Digivolution cards instead. I.e., if you're trying to use those skills that we've looked at to trash your Digivolution cards, if you've got nothing you want to trash on your other Digimon, but you have on this, it just means you've got access to more skills. Now you've essentially got a level 6 that can drop its Digivolution cards to gain memory, draw cards, whatever. In a Bagra army deck, this Tactimon clearly works beautifully. And then we finish off, as promised, with Amano. Free cost tamer. On all turns, when a purple card is placed under your tamer, draw 1 and gain a memory. Bearing in mind, I keep showing you cards that have got save. And save means that you put them under a tamer. So Chimon's got it, Damamon's got it, Troopmon's got it, Mad Leomon's got it. See where I'm going with this? When any of them get deleted, they go under your tamer, and then Amano comes in and lets you draw a card and gain a memory. That's not a bad consolation prize here. And then on your turn, once per turn, when you would play a level 4 or higher Digimon with Bagra Army in its traits, by placing up to 3 purple Digimon cards from under your tamers in that Digimon's evolution cards, reduce the play cost of that Digimon by 2 for each card placed. Now this gets huge, because again, we've seen that you can put cards under, we've seen save and all of that, but if you've got 3 cards under Amano, then all of a sudden you can reduce the play cost by 6. All of a sudden that Tactimon isn't a 13 cost to play, it is a 7 cost to play, and you're giving it extra evolution skills, and then when you play Tactimon, you can play 2 level 4 or lower Digimon for free. So basically, if you can get 3 cards under Amano, and with all the saving you absolutely can, then all of a sudden Tactimon turns into a 7 cost card that also plays 2 level 4s, so you're paying 7 memory to get a Tactimon and 2 level 4s. I think it's fair to say Bagra Army could be a deck, and if you're playing it, Amano is definitely going to be in your deck. So there we go, lots of purple Digimon, the Bagra Army look cool, and now it's over to you guys. How excited are you for this? Do you think it's going to be good, or do you think it's just a fun gimmick? Let me know in the comment section. Go nuts! Be nice! And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWasi. That's where we talk Digimon and a bunch of other card games. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCGradio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all kinds of fun things. But by far the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching Wasi Plays.